and welcome back to another Ghost and Glam haunted story. So if you are new here, every Monday and Friday I sit down and I tell you guys a haunted, ghost, creepy, true crime, unsolved mystery type of story while I get glam at the same time. So if you're into that sort of vibe, then hit that subscribe button down below so you don't miss another spooky video. Also, join the spooky fam. I have merch. If you guys don't know, it is always linked in the description box down below, so don't forget to check it out. It's super cute merch. Like, you'll love it. It's so cute. But if you aren't new here, then you probably noticed that I didn't upload a video Friday and I didn't upload a video Saturday, which in a video back I had mentioned that if I didn't get a video up by Friday, then it would be up by Saturday. Well, that didn't happen last week because I just needed like a little break from these videos. I love these videos and I love doing them, but just the prep work for them, like finding a story and just doing a bunch of research, it can get a little overwhelming and a little bit frustrating sometimes because you hear something like super creepy and then you look up information for it and there's just really nothing exciting about it, you know? It's a little bit difficult sometimes, but I look crazy right now. Ignore my hair. And my eyes are like super primed and super bright, so... And also, this is my second time filming this video because the first time I was filming it, I kept calling this person by the wrong name, like completely wrong name. And I didn't even realize it till the end. So I just decided, instead of like taking the easy road out and just putting like the real name up here, that I would just refilm the video anyways. So hopefully I get this person's name right and I don't make a mistake, but I'm gonna try. So let's just go ahead and jump right into this story. So this story is about a woman named Gloria Ramirez. See, before I kept calling her Maria. No, her name's Gloria. I don't know how I was getting Maria. But anyways, she was a 31-year-old woman, and she was previously diagnosed with cervical cancer. Well, she was in, like, the late stages of cervical cancer. You know, it was starting to take a really bad toll on her body. You know, she wasn't doing good with it. Well, on February 19th, 1994, Gloria was rushed to the hospital by ambulance because she was having severe heart palpitations. Her heart was beating at a rate that was beyond normal. Like, even when you get nervous and you get like your heart racing, it was faster than that. Well, here's where it gets a little freaky, right? While the staff was trying to defibrillate her heart and get it to calm down, they started to notice some weird things happening with her body. They noticed like a fruity, garlicky smell, and they figured that it was coming from her mouth. And her body also had this oily sheen to it. A nurse named Susan Kane started to draw blood from Maria. You know, they do that when you go to the hospital. They got to draw blood, see what's going on. Well, she noticed a strange chemical odor coming from her blood. So she passed the syringe over to a medical resident. Her name was Julie Gorginski, and she noticed that inside of the tube there were manila-colored particles floating around in Gloria's blood. What could that be, right? That's a little weird. Well, soon after drawing Gloria's blood, Nurse Kane, she stated that she felt like her face was burning. Like she was just on fire. And then all of a sudden, she fainted. She was escorted out of the room on a gurney. And then soon after she was escorted, Nurse Gorginski started to experience lightheadedness and she too fainted. So, like, what the hell is going on in this hospital? She also experienced apnea, which is a condition where you stop breathing for a few seconds at a time. But it doesn't even end there. A respiratory therapist named Maureen Welch, she was also in the room with Gloria and all the other doctors. Well, she fainted too. She stated that she remembered hearing somebody screaming. Then she woke up and she had no control over the movements of her limbs. Something's going on in this hospital. Also, I'm aware this looks crazy right now, but we're not done. So the hospital actually declared an internal state of emergency after other staff members started to feel sick. They ended up evacuating all patients to the parking lot except for Gloria. And all the staff that was affected by Gloria, they were taken out of the room and a skeleton crew was left to work on her. But at 8:50 p.m., just 45 minutes after she arrived at the hospital, Gloria was pronounced dead, and they ended up taking her body to an isolated room by 2 other staff members. One of those staff members that took Gloria to the isolated room was a nurse named Sally Balderas. Well, Sally soon started to vomit, and she started to feel a burning sensation like Nurse Kane did. She was hospitalized for 10 days, and she also experienced apnea like Nurse Gorginski did. It's weird, right? Like, it's totally getting weird. Well, sadly, Nurse Gorginski, she had symptoms worse than anybody else that was in that room that day. She was in the intensive care unit for 2 weeks. She experienced a vascular necrosis of the knee, which is a condition where the bone tissue doesn't receive enough blood, and then it just starts to die. She was on crutches months after this incident. Like, she got messed up. So all the staff members that were treating Gloria that night, they were also taken to the parking lot to get evaluated. Well, what's weird is that they took all of their clothes and they bagged them up in case there was some sort of toxic chemical that was on them and making them sick. 23 staff members were affected that night, and 5 of them had to stay overnight in the hospital. Around 11 p.m., just 2 hours after Gloria was pronounced dead, a hazardous team arrived at the hospital in full hazmat suits. Like, could you imagine how freaked out you would be if you saw that? I would be, like, shitting my pants. They were searching for 2 chemicals that could possibly have caused this whole incident, but they never found anything. 6 days later, Gloria's body was finally in autopsy, and they took samples of her blood, her tissue. They even took air samples from her body bag to see if they could find anything that could have caused this, but they found nothing. Her death was deemed the most baffling in local history. How crazy is that? Ugh, it's so weird, but it gets worse. Just wait. So, of course, word spread about her case, right? And, of course, all of these other, like, medical doctors and investigators, they wanted to pretty much just, like, take a crack at her case and see if they could find anything that could cause such a weird outbreak in this hospital. But, again, they didn't even find anything. The official cause of death for Gloria was cardiac dysrhythmia caused by kidney failure due to her cervical cancer. Sure, Jan. Finally, on April 4th, 1994, 2 months after Gloria died, she was finally put to rest and buried in the Riverside Cemetery. Finally. So Gloria's case was closed, but no one could explain what exactly happened to that staff that night. But there are some theories, and these theories are wild, and I'm sorry you can hear these freaking dogs barking. The first theory comes from the California Department of Health and Human Services. They interviewed 34 staff members that were working in the emergency room that night, and they concluded that everyone was suffering from mass hysteria, which means, like, if something happens to somebody, you kind of think in the back of your head, like, oh, this is going to happen to me. And then you end up making that happen to yourself, and then, like, it's just a domino effect, and it kind of goes down from there. Like, a better explanation is if you're in an area with a certain amount of people and something happens to that one person, and then all of a sudden it happens to another person, everyone kind of just starts to put it in their head, hey, this is going to happen to me, something's going on. But really, there's, like, a logical explanation to what happened. You're just convincing yourself so much that something bad's going to happen. And then it's just like a domino effect. Everyone just starts to experience it, you know? So that's what they think happened. And their reasoning behind that is because they didn't find any poison in Gloria's system, and because the paramedics that drove Gloria to the hospital that night were perfectly fine. There was nothing wrong with them. They think that the odor that was coming from Gloria's body is what triggered the mass hysteria. Like, oh, there's an odor. Obviously, it's not good to breathe it. We're all breathing it. We're all going to die. Pretty much is, like, what they concluded in all of this, which I don't know if I believe that one. I mean, it could happen, it is possible, but it seems unlikely when you hear the other theories. Well, Nurse Gorginski, the one that was, like, super badly affected by this whole incident, she didn't believe that it was mass hysteria, and, like, she was pissed off that it was even considered to be that. Let me finish my lips. So Nurse Gorginski actually ended up suing the hospital and the coroner's office for $6 million because she strongly believed that it wasn't mass hysteria. I mean, you can't really fake a vascular necrosis. Like, how do you fake your bone not getting blood? Like, well, I guess not fake it, but you can't, like, cause yourself to believe that it's not getting blood, therefore it's not going to. Like, I don't think it works that way. I don't know. But either way, she sued them. Another theory comes from Livermore Laboratory, who discovered a large amount of dimethylsulfone in Gloria's blood. They believe that Gloria used an anti-inflammatory gel called DMSO to help with her pains from cancer, just to help the swelling and just, it's kind of like icy hot. So they think that the gel would create the garlicky smell and the sheen on her skin, because apparently it smells like garlic, I guess. I don't know, I never smelled it before. But it would explain the oily sheen on her skin. But we're going to get a little sciencey here. So the DMSO gel that they believe that Gloria was using is one oxygen atom away from dimethylsulfone, which was found in Gloria's samples. So the lab decided to perform a test, and they took the DMSO gel, mixed it with oxygen, much like the one that Gloria was given when she arrived at the hospital. And what they found was when those two mixed, the gel became like a crystallized product. Now, that would explain the particles that were found floating in the tube that they used to withdraw her blood from. But even then, dimethylsulfone isn't harmful. But they also theorized that if the dimethylsulfone was broken down, like all those crystals that were in her body were broken down during the electric shock when they were trying to resuscitate her, that they would be broken up and then they could spread throughout her body. And when it would mix with other compounds in her body, then it would cause heart, kidney, and liver damage. So, I mean, that's kind of a possibility, but other scientists and investigators said that that would be impossible. I don't know how, but so far, the Livermore Laboratory is the only one that has claimed this theory. Not to mention, though, they didn't state to performing any tests or any type of simulation to prove this theory. They just think that, hey, it could have happened, but they don't have anything backing them up, really, except for the little tests that they ran. Another theory comes from Gloria Ramirez's family. They believe that what happened to Gloria that night was due to hazardous conditions that were already in the hospital. So here's why they believe this. 3 years before Gloria's death, 2 staff employees had to receive treatment after a sterilizer leaked poisonous gas. But not only that, in 1993, sewer gas was found in the emergency room. This hospital is just crawling with gas. Like, hello? So the family thinks that the county is really covering something up, that they're trying to save the hospital's ass, pretty much. What are they trying to hide? Why can't they just admit their wrongdoing is what the family is trying to get at. Like, they just want answers. But what's even stranger is after the first initial autopsy, Deputy Coroner Dan Caputo stated that Gloria, in fact, did not die from natural causes. But after the county reviewed the autopsy report and the statement from the coroner, Caputo quickly shifted his statement to saying that Gloria did die from natural causes. That's a little fishy. Also, a woman named Stephanie Albright, who was known to be a top investigator in the coroner's office, she committed suicide 1 month into the investigation. And Dan Caputo stated that she must have been under a lot of pressure. Like, pressure from who? From the county to cover this up? From the family for being pissed off about this and not getting, like, true answers? Not to mention, this gets weird too, but the syringe that was used to draw Gloria's blood was accidentally thrown out. But what's weird is that how could that be accidentally thrown out? But they took the time to bag up everybody's clothes the night they were all getting treated in the parking lot in case there was a toxic chemical. But they throw away a syringe full of blood that could contain the whole thing. Like, it's all super strange, right? Like, it's so bizarre. So even though Gloria's case was officially closed The mystery of what happened to the staff that night remains unsolved. So, what do you guys think? What do you think happened that night? Like, it's bizarre, right? I read another theory, and I don't know if I really believe this one, but I'll tell you guys anyway. So, another theory is that, I don't mean to laugh, but the staff of the hospital was in like a methamphetamine drug ring. They were distributing the drugs in IV bags, so it didn't look so suspicious. And then Gloria somehow accidentally got one of these bags, and that's what killed her. But there was no methamphetamine found in her system at all. So, like, that theory just doesn't make any sense to me. But that is the story of Gloria Ramirez. Her death is such a mystery. They think they know, but I don't think they really know what happened to her. Let me know what theory you guys believe, or if you have any other theories about this case. I would love to hear them in the comments down below, especially if you know anything about like the medical world. Like, I want to know your thoughts down below. So please comment. I want to know. But anyways, that is all I have for you guys today. I really hope you liked this video and you liked this story. It's a little bit weird. It's more of a medical mystery, but I think it was still pretty cool. So as always, if you like this video and you like me, please subscribe to my channel and join the spooky fam. Also, follow me on all my socials. Those will be linked in the description box down below. And everything that I use today will always be in the description box down below as well. So if you're ever curious as to what I'm using, you can find it down there. And I have nothing else to say, except I love you guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!